Hello everyone, my name is Galank Araafi, and so today we'll be discussing about Marxist criticism. So without any further ado, let's start right into it. So the first one, introduction. Marxist criticism is a literary theory based on the ideas of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, who argued that society is shaped by economic systems and class struggle. In literature, Marxist criticism examines how texts reflect, reinforce, or challenge the power structures within capitalist societies. It focuses on issues such as social class, labor, wealth distribution, ideology, and the relationship between the ruling class and the working class. The next one is the historical background of Marxist criticism. So, Marxist criticism is a literary theory rooted in the ideas of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in the 19th century. Their key works, including the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital, focused on class struggle, capitalism, and economic structure that shaped society. Although Marx and Engels did not develop a formal method of literary criticism, their theories about material conditions and ideology became the foundation for Marxist approaches to literature. In the 20th century, Marxist criticism developed further through thinkers such as George Lucas, who emphasized realism and the representation of social class, and Antonio Gramsci, who introduced the concept of cultural hegemony. Later, scholars like Louis Althusser expanded Marxist theory by exploring ideology and how institution shapes individual consciousness. The next one is how to apply Marxist criticism. So, to apply Marxist criticism, we analyze literature by focusing on power and class relationship. First, we look at who controls wealth and authority in the story. Are there clear differences between rich and poor characters? We also examine how perform labor and who profits from it. Another important step is identifying social class. Characters often represent different economic groups, and their conflicts may reflect class struggle. Marxist critics also pay attention to ideology, the beliefs that justify inequality. For example, does the story suggest that poverty is a personal failure rather than a systematic problem? The next one is the examples of Marxist analysis. So, a strong example of Marxist criticism can be seen in the film Parasite. The story contrasts two families, the wealthy Park families and the struggling Kim family. The Parks live comfortably, unaware of the harsh realities faced by the poor, while the Kims must manipulate situations just to survive. The film clearly illustrates class divisions. Physical space even represents inequality. The rich live in a modern house above ground, while the poor live in a semi-basement. The economic system benefits the wealthy while trapping the poor in cycles of hardship. Through this contrast, the film critiques modern capitalism and exposes the tension between social classes. And then we have the strength and weakness. So, Marxist criticism has several strengths. It helps readers uncover hidden power structure within literature and connects fictional stories to real-world social and economic issues. It encourages us to think critically about inequality and question systems of power that may seem normal. However, it also has weaknesses. Sometimes Marxist analysis focuses too heavily on economic factors and ignores other important aspects such as gender, race, psychology, or individual creativity. In some cases, critics may interpret every conflict as purely economic, which can oversimplify complex literary works. So we have the strengths are reveals hidden power structures, connects literature to real social issues, encourages critical thinking about inequality. And we witness art can reduce literature to only economic factors, may ignore gender, race, or psychological aspects, and sometimes overly political. So, the conclusion is Marxist criticisms teach us that literature is not separate from society. Stories are shaped by economic systems, class structures, and power relations. By examining class struggle, ideology, and capitalism, we gain a deeper understanding of how texts reflect social inequality. Rather than simply enjoying literature as entertainment, Marxist criticism encourages us to question who holds power, who is marginalized, and how economic systems influence human experiences. Through this lens, literature becomes not only art, but also a reflection of social struggle and historical reality. And thank you so much for your attention, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.